Hey, what's going on, guys? This is SonicFreak here, and today I want to talk about my top 5 Sonic games that SEGA should remaster in 2020 and beyond. So let's get into it. Now, before I start with the countdown, with remaster, I mean SEGA remaking the whole engine from the ground up with refreshed music, game engine, models, and etc. So yeah, because some of these games are really outdated. Take for example Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Now, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 is regarded as one of the best 3D Sonic games for its time, and to this very day, it's still acknowledged as like one of the best 3D Sonic games. However, this game originally came out on the Dreamcast, and then from there on, we got a re-release on the GameCube with DX and Sonic Adventure 2, the Battle Edition, which include a few more features and whatnot. And while they did improve upon the Dreamcast version with higher res models and such, looking at it in 2020, it's still outdated. I think one final remaster would be really nice to see on current gen console, and I think it will really shine. Considering that Sonic fans to this very day love Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I think it'll be pretty much a top priority for SEGA to remaster both of these games and just package it up as a double pack game, you know. Hey, I would gladly pay like $80 for Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remastered with a modernized engine, higher res models, textures, you know, remastered music and everything. Like, it's a good game, both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and I really think that if they were just to take that same, you know, universe and just touch it up on a new modernized engine like, I don't know, Unreal Engine 4, it will really shine and will feel like a brand new Sonic game despite it being an old Sonic game. But hey, I completely digress. Either way, a remaster of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 is definitely needed, which is why it goes in my number 5 spot. Now, going on to number 4, I want to see SEGA remaster Sonic the Fighters. Now, Sonic the Fighters was that arcade game where you fight Sonic characters. Before we had Sonic Battle, you know, on the Game Boy Advance, we had Sonic the Fighters in the arcades back in the 90s. And that's the problem here. This game, while it was pretty fun in the arcades, it was released in the 90s, so it looks really dated. I mean, just look at the game itself. It speaks for itself. I mean, look how polygon the figures are, you know. Imagine this with modernized 3D models. Imagine this in like Unreal Engine 4. This game will look really nice. I've seen fans take this idea and make a fan game of a Sonic fighting game. I forgot the name of it, but I seen it a while ago at one of the Sage fan game showcases. And this fan game here is a perfect example of how Sonic the Fighters could potentially be. Heck, even add a few more bonus Sonic characters in there in Sonic the Fighters Remastered. I really think that'd be a good idea, and considering that Sonic kind of needs like an online competitive mode to keep the game more alive and relevant, I think that'd be a good idea. Because I mean, look at Smash Bros, look at all these other fighting games like Street Fighter and etc. You know, those games tend to thrive on the competitive side. So if they were to incorporate Sonic the Fighters, you know, remastered with a competitive tournament mode and etc., I think this game would really shine a lot more than the current Sonic the Fighters we got on the PS3 and Xbox 360. Just saying, I think a remaster of Sonic the Fighters will be warranted. Which goes on to number 3, which I mentioned earlier, Sonic Battle. Now, Sonic Battle was legit like a Smash Bros game with Sonic characters. Yeah, that's right. Sonic Battle was like a Super Smash Bros game with Sonic characters, and it was pretty damn fun. The problem is that this game only came out on the Game Boy Advance. Why? Why can't this be released on a GameCube? Why can't we get like a 3D version of this game? I really think Sonic Battle has a lot of potential as a console game versus a handheld Game Boy Advance game, considering that this style of idea hasn't been done before within the Sonic universe. You know, I always wanted a Smash Bros game with only Sonic characters, and Sonic Battle kind of scratched that itch that I wanted back in the day. But, you know, like I said before, the problem is that this game was released on the Game Boy Advance. So imagine if they were to take this idea and remaster this on console and PC, add an online mode, poof, this would be a fun game. I'm not gonna lie. Might be in competition with Sonic the Fighters Remaster, you know. But hey, I think Sonic Battle deserves a remaster, hands down. Especially on console. Like, take this from the Game Boy Advance and put it on console. Put it on Unreal Engine 4. Give it that nice little lighting, 3D models, you know, high res and everything. Oh man, this game looks so nice and be so much fun. I think it would even rival Super Smash Bros. But hey, I mean, that's debatable, you know. I digress. Going on to number 2 of my remaster list is Sonic Unleashed. Now, Sonic Unleashed is a fan favorite as well. I put this higher above Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 because Sonic Unleashed was really fun and it has way more potential than Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. The problem is with Sonic Unleashed is that when this game was released on the PS3 and Xbox 360, it really sucked with frame rate. Like, I'm telling you, this game ran like crap on the PS3. Now, I haven't really played the PS2 and Wii versions, and from what I hear, it's lacking from the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions with the hub world and whatnot. But looking back at it now, the graphics were pretty nice. Like, for its time, when this game came out on the PS3, this was pretty good. This is almost PS4 graphics like. The problem is that with high graphics like that, the PS3 took a hit really hard in the frame rate. Like, I kid you not, I was getting like 10-20 FPS in a lot of areas in that game, and especially the night zones, the night areas. Oh my gosh, they sucked so bad because not for the gameplay itself, it was the performance, it was the frame rate. This game struggled hard on the PS3 back in the day, and I really feel like Sonic Unleashed deserves a remaster and be put on the PS4 and Xbox One or Series X or whatever that is current gen in the future, and of course put it on PC. But hey, I think Sonic Unleashed deserves a remaster, and I feel like it can be done in 60 FPS, smoother graphics, smoother gameplay, and I think this would be a really solid Sonic game if it had a second chance. So hey, Sonic Unleashed deserves a remaster and is in my number 2 spot. Going on to number 1, the number 1 Sonic game that needs to be remastered, at least in my book, is Sonic 06. Sonic 06 is regarded as one of the most terrible Sonic games back in the day. Now it's really debatable. Considering all the Sonic games we got over the years, I think that's debatable now. But hey, regardless, Sonic 06 was a massive Sonic game that suffered because it was simply rushed. If the game wasn't rushed for holidays, this would be a top-notch Sonic game. And I really think nowadays this game really would benefit a remaster, considering that fans are taking initiative to remaster this game on PC, mind you. I mean, come on man, why can't Sega do it? And I think Sega would do it better, okay? We'll get a remaster 60 FPS, no glitches, completed levels, you know. Man, I'm just getting excited just thinking about a remaster of 06. There's just so many broken things in that game that really need to be fixed. Remaster the game, and I think Sonic 06 would be really good. Hey, maybe 2026 remaster of Sonic 06. I don't know. Sonic 2026. I don't know. Kind of gonna be weird with the title, I'm not gonna lie. The title is kind of weird. I mean, though technically with the title is just Sonic the Hedgehog, we just add the 06 after to differentiate from the 1991 version. But hey, I completely digress. Regardless, I think this game deserves a remaster. So there we go. That's my top 5 Sonic games that I feel like should be remastered. Now for some honorable mentions, because there are some Sonic games that I had in mind that I kind of felt like needed a remaster, but at the same time, not so really. So let's get on to it with the honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is Sonic Heroes. Now Sonic Heroes was a pretty fun game, and as much as I would like a remaster, I don't think it's necessary. If anything, Sonic Heroes will benefit more off of a sequel with Sonic Heroes 2. So yeah, remastering Sonic Heroes, while it is nice, I don't think it's necessary. I think more so would be necessary as a sequel with Sonic Heroes 2. Next on my list with honorable mentions is Shadow the Hedgehog. Now Shadow the Hedgehog is critiqued as a bad Sonic game. a Sonic spin-off game, whatever you want to call it. Either way, I think the idea itself was unique. It was kind of ahead of its time a little bit with the idea, despite it being pretty bad with gameplay. And that's the thing. I think if this was remade in current day with better engines and whatnot, with better shooting mechanics, especially with the games that came out over the years, I think Shadow Hedgehog will be a lot more solid of a game if it had a remaster. But I don't think it's completely necessary because the whole format itself was an issue. If anything, maybe a Shadow Hedgehog sequel will be better, so that way they can kind of establish a new format, because the whole multi-ending format just didn't work out with the game. And if they were going to scrap that idea, then it won't be a remaster, it'd be a whole different game. So hey, Shadow Hedgehog 2 probably more logical in this sense. Next on my honorable mentions list is the Sonic Trilogy. Now, Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, top tier Sega Genesis Sonic games, hands down one of the classics that are one of the best on the list. Now, as much as I would like a remaster to see in 3D-ish, is not necessary. I mean, we've seen so many re-releases of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. It's just kind of old at this point, old news. So I think a remaster isn't fully warranted in this situation. So yeah, but the idea would be nice, so it's in my honorable mentions. And lastly is Sonic and Tails series. Well, Sonic and Tails 1 and 2, aka Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble. Now these were Game Gear games that were pretty good. I would really like to see this remastered in a 16-bit format, because playing this on an 8-bit-ish Game Gear, screen or emulator kind of sucks. I would like to see this envisioned on a more bigger scale, like Sonic Mania style. In fact, there are some Sonic fan games of Sonic fans remastering Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble in a 16-bit format, which looks really nice, and they had some pretty memorable and fun stages too in Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Trouble, but at the same time, it's not really big on the list or big in the Sonic scene. So if they were to take their resources to remaster this, I feel like this wouldn't really take off too well. Hence why I put this in my honorable mentions. Other honorable mentions: Sonic Advance series, Sonic Rush series. I feel like those should be left alone. I mean, Sonic Advance obviously intended for Game Boy Advance, and same thing with the Rush series, intended for DS. I don't think any other Sonic games should be touched on, like Sonic Colors and etc. I think they should be left alone. But my top 5 list, hands down, is Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Sonic the Fighters, Sonic Battle, and Sonic Unleashed, and lastly, Sonic 06. I think those 5 should be on Sega's top remastered list. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my list? You disagree with my list? Is there some Sonic games I probably missed that you feel like should be remastered? Until then, peace guys.